Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
It's your boy Taco Bell Wani, and have no fear, Tyrant Woodley. I've got proof that the UFC is not racist right here in this video. Let's get to it. Paul Felder versus James Vick is slated for UFC Boise. Paul Felder is a guy, he's actually low-key one of my favorite MMA personalities. I really enjoy his commentating. He's did ringside commentary for Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender series. He transitioned to actually working for the UFC. He's been cage-side a couple of times, but he's also a very exciting fighter, fun fighter to watch. He's a fighter's fighter, so I really do enjoy Paul Felder's fights, and he's got his hands full with the match against James Vick. James Vick is walking proof that the UFC is not racist. No, I'm just kidding, but James Vick, yo, this guy is 9-1 in the UFC, and he's just now getting a fight versus another ranked opponent. And James Vick is a guy that's been campaigning like, yo, what's going on? I want a higher ranked guy. I'm calling these guys out. I want to fight Kevin Lee. I want to fight Michael Chiesa. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight all of these guys. Now, Michael Chiesa did already beat James Vick on The Ultimate Fighter, but it was during the show, so it wasn't on his actual record. But either way, James Vick is a guy that's been winning a lot of fights, stringing together win streaks. He's only got one setback in his last 10 fights. And now he finds himself still trying to get a fight with a top 10 ranked opponent. Now, with that being said, James Vick isn't going to quite get to fight a top 10 ranked opponent here, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. At least he's getting a ranked opponent. Now, Paul Felder is going to be fighting James Vick at UFC Boise. This card is going to be stacked so far. If you go to UFC.com, you're not going to see the full lineup, but you know your boy Big Full Time's been on it. This is the what it looks like so far with UFC Boise, with the addition of Paul Felder versus James Vick. Junior Dos Santos is going to be headlining against Blagoy Ivanov. That's going to be a crazy heavyweight fight to headline UFC Boise. We've also got Kat Zingano versus Marion Renault, Saeed Nurmagomedov, which is Khabib's cousin, versus Justin Scoggins, and then I believe Jennifer Maia versus Liz Carmouche. Those are all also on UFC Boise. Oh, by the way, Sage Northcutt's going to be returning to welterweight, looking like a damn Super Saiyan in real life, put on 25 pounds of muscle, fighting against Zakato at UFC Boise, also reportedly. Now, with that being said, the only official fights on UFC.com are the three you see in the middle there: Zingano versus Renault, Nurmagomedov versus Scoggins, and Maia versus Carmouche. But Junior Dos Santos versus Blagoy Ivanov is also pretty official. We haven't heard a lot of news on the Sage Northcutt fight since it was reported, but I'll keep you guys updated, and it would make sense for Sage Northcutt to fight there in my mind. It seems like a good, like a college town, right? Everyone knows Boise, the football team. Sage Northcutt, I don't know, I just think Sage Northcutt would fit at UFC Boise. With that being said, there's going to be more fights added to UFC Boise, I'm sure, but one of them that was added, of course, was these two ranked lightweights. I've also got the lightweight rankings on your screen right here. This is what the lightweight title picture looks like right now, so it's good to be seeing these two ranked guys fight, and also to the UFC's side of things as far as James Vick getting a higher ranked opponent. The top 5 of the lightweight division has been kind of log jammed ever since Conor McGregor fought Eddie Alvarez, right? We had an interim title fight, we had an undisputed title fight since then, and we're still log jammed. The interim title fight, of course, resulted in Tony Ferguson becoming the champion. He got injured. That belt went away. Conor's belt went away. Khabib Nurmagomedov fought the number 11th ranked or the number 10th ranked Al Iaquinta for the undisputed title. Didn't make much sense, but hey, the UFC needed a champion, and now Khabib's that guy. They needed an undisputed champion. Now, with that being said, we've also got these other guys in the top 3. You see still Conor McGregor's up there. We don't know what's going on with him, ranked number 1. Is he coming back and fighting Khabib, or is he going to do something else? Is he going to fight boxing? Who knows? But he's ranked number 1, holding up that spot. Tony Ferguson was the interim champion. Should he be the number 1 contender? Should he still be the interim champion? Who knows? But he's tying up that number 2 spot. So ranked number 1 and number 2 are really the two guys who can't fight right now. Well, Conor can fight, but he's not fighting right now. Then you got Eddie Alvarez. He just said he's not fighting until he gets a new contract. Number 3 spot, can't do nothing with it. Log jam. So that's the champion out due to Ramadan. We got the champion out inactive right now, the ranked number 1 guy inactive right now, the ranked number 2 guy inactive right now, the ranked number 3 guy inactive right now, the ranked number 4 guy just beat Pettis, and Gaethje, he wants to fight up. He can't fight up right now because Eddie Alvarez is the only one that's kind of available. That would be a fight a lot of people want to see. It was a no contest originally, but Eddie Alvarez says, no way, I'm not fighting until I get a new contract. So that leaves Dustin Poirier right there. He's kind of tied up because he's trying to fight upwards. There was talks of the winner of the Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje fight possibly fighting James Vick. Now, with that being said, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the winner of that fight to really want to fight James Vick, or even not even the winner of Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Kevin Lee just fought Edson Barboza, ranked number 5 and number 6. So they just came off of a fight, or maybe they would be fighting James Vick, you know, a higher ranked opponent. But Kevin Lee just won the fight. He probably wants to take a little time off before his next fight. Edson Barboza just came off of 2 goddamn getting his face, you know, tenderized by Khabib and Kevin Lee. He needs a break. So that's 5 and 6 kind of tied up right now. The only guy in the top 6 that really can fight right now is Dustin Poirier, or that's willing to fight right now, but he wants to fight up because Eddie Alvarez, you know, he doesn't have a legit excuse for not fighting except for wanting a new contract, which is legit as far as the business side is concerned. But I'm talking about as far as, you know, these guys fighting the next up, it's kind of the same with Conor McGregor. I mean, he's healthy but not fighting. Eddie Alvarez healthy, not fighting for his own reason. Dustin Poirier. So all of these guys are tied up, man. It doesn't matter if you're James Vick and you want to fight all of these guys. None of them are fighting right now, so you got to take what you can get. So he's going to be fighting Paul Felder. That's still a pretty big opportunity because Paul Felder's got some name value. Not only is he a ranked guy, he's on a winning streak, knocking guys out. He's a part of the UFC commentary team. So he's definitely building his own stock, Paul Felder, for sure. He's got some stock right now, some momentum. So this is going to be a great lightweight fight, just not exactly what either one of these guys were looking for, I would assume. Paul Felder was about to be getting to fight Al Iaquinta. That's a guy, that fight, and I'm not saying Al Iaquinta's an easy fight at all when I say this, but I will say the Al Iaquinta fight you would assume is easier than the James Vick fight. James Vick has been active. He's probably the tallest lightweight in the division at 6'3". He's been taking out high-level dudes. He just, I believe, finished Francisco Trinaldo or beat Francisco Trinaldo in a unanimous decision, and that's actually Paul Felder's last loss, if I'm not mistaken. I've got the records right here. This is Paul Felder's record. His last loss was a 3rd-round doctor stoppage to Francisco Trinaldo, and as you can see on James Vick's record, his most recent win was a decision over Francisco Trinaldo. So MMA math doesn't always work like that for sure, but I'm just saying James Vick is on a 5-fight winning streak currently, and he's most recently coming off of a win over the last guy that beat Paul Felder. Now, when you take into consideration, now Paul Felder has to fight this fucking huge lightweight in James Vick that's on a 5-fight winning streak when he was going to be scheduled to fight on UFC 223 in Brooklyn, a much bigger card, fighting the lone New Yorker on the card in Al Iaquinta. Al Iaquinta's been doing real estate. He's been inactive. He only fought like 1 time in the last 2 years, so that would have been a much more desirable fight for anybody. Would you rather fight the inactive real estate agent who's, you know, in New York on this huge card? Even though Al Iaquinta's nobody's sucker or nothing like that, he's still a good fighter. But as far as who would you rather fight, if you're playing the game of who would you rather fight motherfucking this active, tallest lightweight in the division that's fucking everybody up in his path, or this guy that's going through it right now, that's selling real estate, hasn't been able to fight that often? So Paul Felder lost that opportunity because Al Iaquinta got to step up and fight for the title. Now he's getting James Vick thrown at him. So it's going to be a hell of a scrap, bro. I could see this fight ending in a 1st-round knockout easily. It could be a submission. Both of these guys are very talented lightweights, but this lightweight division is log jammed up right now, which is why we get to see this matchup. Hey, as a fan, all you can do is be happy because we got a great fucking fight on our hands. But I would assume on either one of these guys' sides, it's probably not the fight they want, right? James Vick wants a higher ranked opponent. Paul Felder, this is still a, now let's pull up these rankings real fast. Paul Felder, I mean, as far as the matchup is concerned, yeah, maybe it's a little worse of a matchup going against James Vick. But as far as ranking is concerned, Paul Felder's ranked number 14. He was going to be fighting Iaquinta ranked number 10. So he just loses 1 spot in the rankings as far as his opponent is concerned. If he can beat James Vick, he becomes ranked number 11. If he beat Al Iaquinta, he was ranked number 10. Either way, Paul Felder's getting that opportunity to move up. Just a little bit of a different matchmaking. So maybe a harder matchup for Paul Felder, we'll see, but definitely still very winnable. Both of these, either either one of these guys could win this fight. James Vick, he's been trying to get one of these guys, and he's having to fight down still. But hey, we see with Kamaru Usman, a ranked opponent is better than no opponent. And when you're a guy that you're having a hard time getting people to sign on the dotted line, you're calling people out and they don't want to fight you, sometimes you just got to take them where you can get them. Beggars can't be choosers. Take that ranked opponent, and that's what we got here with James Vick. So I'm sure after this fight, or even before this fight, we're going to hear an interview from James Vick. He comes out and lets it be known, hey man, I wanted to fight this guy. I called out this guy. They say no for this reason. I'm sick of this. Boom, 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 boom. You know, a lot of people don't like to hear fighters talk about their grievances. They call them complainers. When Tyron Woodley says, hey, I wanted to fight this guy, but I got this guy instead. I want him for this reason. People are like, shut up. Stop complaining and fight. People feel like that about James Vick. I've seen coming out, like whenever he gets out there and starts saying who turned him down and why he feels like he's getting slighted, people are like, all right, bro, it's a little, you know, it's complaining. So with that being said, it is what it is. I hear where James Vick's coming from. I also, you know, see why both of these guys are taking this fight though, and I think it's going to be a great fight at UFC Boise on a great card. Fucking all these fights likely on the card as well. Maybe Sage Northcutt's return, Junior Dos Santos' return. We've got a lot of good names in the middle of the card, and now we got some fucking ranked lightweights. I honestly can't wait for this fight. This might be the people's main event as far as I'm concerned. I mean, aside from Sage Northcutt, this is the fight I'm looking forward to the most out of all those fights right now. Even the Junior Dos Santos return. I'm really interested in seeing this Blagoy Ivanov dude, though. He's looking like a straight savage coming from heavyweight. His only loss in like his last 10 fights is like to Alexander Volkov, who's a legit UFC, going to be challenging for the title soon. So that's going to be a super dope heavyweight fight. But out of all of these fights, bro, James Vick versus Paul Felder is the one. I cannot wait. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.